Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to yet another Stone Cold Hockey video to do with the 2005-2006 Buffalo Sabres. We are wrapping up the season soon, and well, we've gotten ourselves through 60 games of this season, 37 wins, 17 losses, 6 ties, 22 more games to go. We're at 80 points. We're 17 back of Utiwa for the division. Detroit's up by 15, Carolina by 5, New Jersey by 9, Minnesota by 7, and that was my. So anyway, Danny Heatley 52 goals. Alex Gresham 49. And Choo with 45. We don't have anyone in the goal scoring place. Points wise, we don't have anyone higher than 57 points. Wow. Healy, Ovechkin, and Datsuk. Our goaltending, Buron's fifth, 16-4-3 with a 2.29 goals against. And Miller 21-12-3, 2.5. 37, 17, and 6. 213 goals scored, 155 against. We have the second fewest goals against in the East behind Ottawa. And we're third in conference scoring with Ottawa and Carolina scoring more points goals than we are. We are 2-6 in overtime in the shootout. We have yet to win a shootout. Us in Florida have yet to win a shootout at all. I think every team has won in overtime at least once. Well, Detroit has yet to lose in overtime. They lost in the shootout. Great. They've only had one overtime loss. Well, San Jose's had two. We are 22-7-2 at home, 15-10-4 on the road. Seeding wise, we're number 5. We're only 2 points back of Florida. We do have 2 games in hand. We've played the fewest games in the East and, for that matter, the NHL. We've only played 60 games. Lots of teams have played 62, 63, 64. Our points percentage, we're trying to catch those pesky Panthers for the 4 seed. Maybe, I think we'll probably be aiming for the 4 seed to get on home ice. Philly leads. It's tied with the Rangers. Rangers do have a game in hand on those Flyers. The Leafs are 7 points back. In the West, it's a dogfight. Calgary leads Colorado by 1 point. They have 3 games in hand on Colorado. San Jose and Los Angeles. 51 hat tricks. Thomas Vanek was the last one. We have had 10 games get 30 or more points on the fans' point. San Jose Phoenix from January 28th. Phoenix up 5-2. We gave up 5 goals in the third period. New Jersey Islanders from March the 2nd. The Isles were up 4-0 on the Devils, and they couldn't finish the job. Colorado Pittsburgh from December 10th, when Colorado was up 4-0 but lost to those simpletons. New Jersey Philly from October 7th, second day of the year. The Devils were up 4-0 but lost. Washington Tampa from October 28th. Washington getting their butts handed by Tampa. Florida Atlanta from March 6th, that went into a shootout. Holy had to score in the shootout. Florida was up 3-0. Atlanta scored 4 quick goals, and then Florida scored when Atlanta won in the shootout. Red Detroit, St. Louis. October 6th saw the 5-4 win for Detroit. Atlanta, Carolina. 11 goal battle. Toronto, Boston, when Toronto was up 4-1. Story of our lives if you're a Leaf fan. And the Islanders take on Tampa. And Tampa looking good up 3-0. We are playing Tampa, speaking of. In our first game of the day, first of this video, we have Ryan Miller in the net against Sean Burke, the 6'4" former Devils goalie who left the Devils to play for the Canadian Olympic team. Well, he had to be an amateur, and then the Devils were so upset they traded him to Hartford, kind of paving the way for Marty Brodeur. Burke played for many other teams now. He's Tampa. He's the backup to John Graham. Hobby Blulin's gone away to Chicago, I believe. Gerald Coleman, former London Knight, and Brian Eklund, your other goalies. Tampa has Finney Lecavalier, number 4, who they drafted first row in 1988. Martin St. Louis, who Calgary dubbed over by be too short, but he basically put up a couple scoring titles and then retired. Freddie Modine, former Leaf. Ruslan Fedotenko, the Ukrainian, who had 2 goals in Game 7 of 04. Vinny Prospo, Brad Richards, the pride of PEI, with all the goal scoring exploits. Danny Boyle, great defenseman. Ryan Craig, Dmitry Venesekov, Tim Taylor from Stratford, Dave Anderchev, the former Leaf and Sabre, among others. Pablo Cabina, future Leaf. Daryl Sador, former Star and King. Rob DeMaio, Evgeny Atrukin, Martin Seaback, Norm Miley, Paul Ranger, Corey Sarich, Nolan Pratt, Timo Habley, Chris Stingman, Darren Reed, Nick Ternarski. Our main guys: Chris Drury, who's good as a player but terrible as a GM. Alex Kotelik, Danny Briere, who will be good once he leaves for the Flyers. Tommy Vanek from Austria, Maxima Vinoganov, JB Dumont, Derek Roy, Kitchener. That's right, former Kitchener Ranger. Jochen Hacht, Jason Pominville, Tim Connolly, Brian Campbell, Paul Gostad, Mike Greer, Henrik Talander, Taylor Pyatt, Jay McKee, Roy Fitzpatrick, former Jets Coyotes star, Tebo Numanen, Dmitry Kalinin, Anna Mayer, Yuri Novotny, Tony Lindman, Tony Pyatt, and Nathan Page. Here we go. 5 minutes into the game, and Prospo are goalies in the zone, auto zone. 4 more minutes. They try, Modine, no. 3 more minutes. They try again, no. 5 more minutes. They have a chance, and they do it this time. Dan Boyle from the point from MSL and Richards. 14 assists by MSL. That's not like him at all. 1-0. 4 minutes. Chris Drury is 24 from Roy and Fanek. Chris Drury, more like, They try. Much later. 4 more minutes. Raising the town population of Pominville is 9 from Dumont and Pyatt. And we're up 2-1 after 40. 5 more minutes. Did we do it? No. Much later. On the clock. Okay, can't score. 3 more minutes. They score! Boyle again from Richards and Sarich makes it 2-2. Oy vey. 3 more minutes. And the regulation, we go to overtime. 2-2. We hate overtime / shootout because we're 2-6 combined. Overtime, everyone! Oh, the highlight reel. Maxima Finneganov from Kudalik. It's 3-2. Well, I guess this time I don't hate it. Buffalo wins on prolongation. What a job. 25 seconds into the game, in the third overtime, Finneganov scores, and we save our butts. 3-2. Well, beautiful. Well, it would have been disastrous if we lost. Saturday, we're in Philadelphia. And we are in Philly, and we got Ryan Miller back in the net against Robert Ash, number 43. Nina Mackey also there, too. They didn't really have much of a goalie tandem. We play, I think it was Buffalo Philly in real life in the 2006 playoffs first round when Brian Campbell stopped RJ Umberger. Philly will have to go 14-0-5 to match their real life record. We have to go 14-7, basically winning 2 out of every 3 games. Philly, their main non-goalies are Simone Gagne. He wins. Mike Knuble, Jeff Carter, former Sioux Greyhound, part of the 2003 Great Draft class. RJ Umberger, who got hit by Campbell. Peter Forsberg back in Philly. He was a Philly draft pick, but got dealt to Quebec in the Lindros deal. Yoni Pitkinen, Sammy Kapanen, former Carolina player. Michael Hansus for Mike Richards. Catch it or not just that, and also a former member of the 2003 Memorial Cup champion Kitchener Rangers alongside Derek Roy. Brian Savage, former Habitant, Branko Rajanovich, Frankie Meyer, Kim Janssen, Peter Nedved, still around, really. Nico Dimitrakos, Eric Desjardins, former Hab, turned Flyer, Darian Hatcher, former Stars icon, Donnie Brashear, Goon, Mike Ratchie, former Shark, Ben Eager, and Keith Primo and Randy Jones. Primo's 2 minutes, and we can't do it. 3 minutes later. Nope. 3 minutes. Skiers! Chris Drury, his 25th from Kotolik and Payet, makes it 1-0. He's good. 1 minute later. They try and they can fail. They sneak it. 3 minutes later. No. 3 minutes later again. Our stamina is high. Is that good? Let's go out that Philly took a penalty. It's Hatcher. Did we take a penalty against... Did we have a penalty in our game against Tampa? It didn't feel that way. I don't think we did take a penalty. I don't think any of us took a penalty. But they killed us on us. I don't remember a penalty being called on either us or Tampa. 4 minutes later. No. 1 minute later. Jet skier! Danny Briere! His 24 from a Finneganov and Connolly. 4 more minutes later. Jet skiers! Chris Drury. His second of the night from Connolly and Hatt makes it 3-0. 2 more minutes. Final score, Hamburger from Johnson and Imasako, 3-1. Easter Godwin to be out by Mr. Campbell. When it comes cross, we get penalized. It's Lindman. Carter Melisandros, short at skier. Shirty. Vanek is 23rd from Newmanen and Finneganov makes it 4-1. Hamburger scores again from Richards, makes it 4-2. And they're going to put Newman in that. Wow. Yeah. Okay, Hamburger. 2 minutes later. Skiers. Tim Connolly, his 19 from Pominville and a Finneganov. 5-2. Trying to kill the clock. Kanubo makes a mistake, and Hack scores. Ah, what the heck? You knew he was going to score from a Finneganov. 6-2. Right. For sure wants to fight McKee. They go down in a heap. That hurts us more. Derek Roy. Ooh, that would have been big. Talon takes the penalty. Misses. Novotny decides to shoot it down the ice, and Buffalo wins 6-2. Well, that was beautiful. 6-2. Umberger scored twice. He's just asking to be hit by Brian Campbell. Well, anyhow, Drury with 2. Briere, Vanek, Connolly, and Hatt. The assists. Connolly had 2 assists. Afanaganov had 4 assists. Afanaganov put up 4 assists. Beauty. Yeah, I don't think we had any penalties last game. Yeah, no penalties at all. That was creepy. Well, we host Boston to finish off a back-to-back. And Ryan Miller back in the net against Tim Thomas. Remember last video when we had to face Toivonen? Now Boston's like, Tim Thomas has to be the guy because we're in deep, deep shit. No kidding. If you remember, Tim Thomas, the main goalie, I talked about how he went over to Europe, came back to North America by the 2005 season, and made himself look better years later. Toivonen, Andrew Raycroft, the former Calder / Rookie of the Year, and the Leafs picked him up for the one of Tuukka Rask and Jordan Singlett. Patrice Bergeron, gentlemanly player number 37, one of the few Bruins I had no problems with. Brad Boyce, former Leaf, did much better after he left the Leafs. Glenn Murray from Southern Nova Scotia. Marco Sturm, part of that big trade that Boston made, sending Joe Thornton to the Sharks, which blew up in their face because Thornton was named the Hart Trophy and Art Ross champion. Brad Stewart, also a Shark at one time. PJ Axelson, Travis Green. Oh, they traded away Samsonov. I think this was Edmonton, if memory serves me right. Yeah, Samsonov played for Edmonton, so they traded off Samsonov. Wow. Travis Green, Brad Isbister, Wayne Primo, Milan Jurcic, Brian Leach, who should never have left Boston in the first place, Yuri Slager, former Thrasher, Nick Boynton, David Tanape, Dave Scatcherd, Tom Fitzgerald, Pat Leahy, Marty Reasoner. I think he went from Edmonton to Boston in this trade. Eric Nicholas, Hal Gill, Alex Shamnoff, and Adam Alberts. Yeah, Shamnoff was a good guy in the 90s for the Hawks. 5 minutes into the game, and they score. Brad Boyce is 26 from Sturman Bergeron. Brad Boyce, what you gonna do? 5 minutes later, no go. Much later, chance for Vanek. Fuck. And we're down 1-0. I think we've had like a 6-game winning streak or something like that. 2 minutes later, there's a fight. Scatcherd and Mayer going on it. Dave Scatcherd. Did I talk about Scatcherd and Mayer? I don't think I did. 3 minutes later, we take a penalty. It's minor. It's Vanek. And Leahy gets hit. 4 minutes later, that's a tie. No, really. Much later. Chris Drury, his 27th. We're tied. And it's 1-1 after 20-40. 20-40. 3 minutes later. He's going to pump you up from Ustria. His 24th from Campbell and Goldstein. 2 minutes later. Spin it again from Beer and Goldstein this time. 3-1. Thomas is like, who the heck is he? Didn't you play an option? He'll take the penalty, and it'll be a Finnegan off. Okay. No. And Tanabe's upset. He's upset. 3 minutes later. Penalty on Boston. It's Travis Green. Here we go. Danny Greer makes it 4-1. Boston's like, we got it. And nope. Only could have scored. Boston will take the penalty. Boynton. Cleaning? No. Greer? No. Doesn't matter. We win 4-1. We were down 1-0 after 36 minutes and then put up 4 goals in the last 24. Drury, Vanek, Breer, proving that we have goal scorers galore, and that's win number 40 for us. That's beautiful. Obviously, we played back-to-back days, so that means we are off on the 13th. The 14th, though, we have to play Alex Ovechkin. So we have 86 points, 15 back of Ottawa, and 8 ahead of Montreal for second in the division. Devils are up by 9, Carolina by 11, Detroit by 16, Minnesota by 9, and Dallas by 7. So you have 40 wins. Only Ottawa, Carolina, Detroit, Minnesota, and Dallas have 40 wins like us. Goal scoring, we don't have anyone. Well, 28th is Ryan Smith. Goals against, Bureau is 5th. Ryan Miller is up to 8th with a 2.44 goals against. He trails Ray Emery, Manny Fernandez, Manny Legacy, Osgood, Buron, Thomas Vokoun, and Ilya Breskalov, who should be playing a lot more for the Dukies. Like, let Shakir play more. Radich. So the top guy below 500 is Craig Anderson, 7-10-4. He's ahead of Jussi Markkanen, who's won 17 games for Edmonton. But yeah, so the points, I don't think we have a points guy, right? 60. Don't we have someone who has massive amount of assists? Finneganov has 17 finishes with 44, but he has 59 points. He's just close to the top 30. I think we're on a winning streak, aren't we? Wow, we're on a 10-game winning streak. I didn't even realize it. We've won 10 in a row. Well, the last three videos I've been perfect in. Well, I've won two games in overtime. And well, I had to play Boston would be involved twice in a video. So I played that one. So our last loss was to Montreal February 7th, losing 4-3 in Montreal. And then we beat Montreal 4-1, then Florida 3-2, 4-3 Carolina, 5-2 Atlanta, 2-0 Toronto, 4-2 Boston, 7-4 Boston, 3-2 Tampa, 6-2 Philly, 4-1 Boston. And the funny thing is we had to play Boston two more times in March. So yeah, Boston's gonna be sick of us because that's 5 times we had to face Boston in the month of March. Stupid March weather. Yeah, 10 straight wins. I can't believe it. We had a 7-game winning streak in January, and now we have a 10-game winning streak into March. Washington, Toronto, Ottawa. Watch Ottawa fucks us up and all that. Norton rarely has played and all that. So yeah, so we're doing quite well for ourselves. 40 wins. So well, all speed of full speed ahead. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.